Thomas Keyboy.
Good afternoon, Utah. Happy Thursday, or as we like to call it around here, happy Friday Eve. We're going to begin with our weather headlines, and the first two are really good. We have picture-perfect weather in store for today. Tomorrow will be even warmer than what we find today. However, we will see increasing winds as we start to move into a slightly more unsettled pattern, but that unsettled pattern will really begin next week, as you can see with the pattern change ahead. However, with our increasing temperatures, we're also seeing increasing pollen. So for you allergy sufferers out there, it's really not going to get better over the next couple of days. And the main pollen that we're watching is the tree pollen, especially for elm, poplar, and oak. And as we go into the next couple of days, it'll just continue to incrementally increase. And it looks like Saturday into Sunday will be the highest before we maybe get some relief by next week. In the meantime, if you're heading out today, you're just going to absolutely love what you find. Abundantly blue skies, just a few fair weather cumulus clouds way off in the distance in Cedar City. With that temperature right now currently sitting at 63 degrees. Just downright pleasant. And here's the current view from Sundance, backside of Timpanogos. Always a beautiful view, especially with the deep blue skies. Temperatures outside of the high country are mainly sitting in the 50s and 60s at this point. Even Heber right now sitting at 52, while we're currently sitting at 64 degrees in Salt Lake City, already a degree warmer at this point than what we saw for a daytime high yesterday. And speaking of those daytime highs, we're going to be about 10 degrees above our seasonal averages. Across the state, outside of the high country mainly, we'll see daytime highs in the 60s and 70s, and we'll likely see our first 80s down in St. George of the year. We're a little bit behind schedule, but we're still well ahead of the record latest, and that's in the latter half of April. So we're looking good there down in St. George. In Park City, we'll see a daytime high of 57. Then tonight won't be nearly as chilly compared to what we saw this morning. We'll mainly see a mix of 30s and 40s with a few spots only bottoming out in the 50s. Meanwhile, in Nephi, we'll see a daytime high of 65, 67 in Emory, and a daytime high of 70 in Richfield. And then down in southern Utah, it's daytime highs in the 60s between Monticello and Blanding and San Juan County, a high of 75 in Hanksville, 70 degrees in Beaver, and a daytime high in the middle 70s in Kanab at 75 degrees. I mentioned tomorrow is going to be warmer than today. And along the Wasatch Front, that's going to be good for mid to upper 70s, while we'll see a daytime high likely in the low 60s in Park City. Going to be a little bit warmer in St. George, but you'll see those warmer temperatures really felt elsewhere, with Moab going from the 70s today into the middle 80s potentially by tomorrow. And that's going to be the top of the Utah spring weather roller coaster, because it looks like as we go through the weekend, temperatures will ease down slightly before bigger changes will be arriving as we go into next week. High pressure keeps our weather quiet over the next few days, but we will see increasing clouds and winds for our Friday, maybe a stray shower or two in the high country. Most of us will stay dry. Those strong southerly winds continue on Saturday. Temperatures still well above average. Then our temperatures begin to ease down Sunday into Monday, and by Monday, we'll be looking at a chance of isolated showers across the state before another system moves in from the northwest to bring even cooler temperatures and likely an even better chance of wet weather across the northern half of the state from Tuesday into Wednesday. But we'll have to fine-tune those details as we get a little bit closer. In St. George, it's middle 80s the next couple of days, mostly sunny skies, absolutely beautiful weather across the southwest desert. Temperatures will be cooler by Sunday into early next week, and by early next week, at least a chance for a few showers with highs settling in the low to mid 70s. Along the Wasatch Front, it's daytime highs in the 70s the next few days, but it's mid to upper 70s Friday and Saturday with partly cloudy skies and breezy conditions. Then we start to see that chance of wet weather increase with daytime highs by early next week easing down through the 50s. And by Tuesday night, we'll see overnight lows back in the 30s. Brian, Jillian.